So I am speaking here with Sandra Scheller.
That's
All
correct.
right. She is the daughter of Ruth Sachs. Now that name might sound familiar to you. I believe she was somebody who was very vocal about her situation in the Holocaust.
Yeah.
Is that right? I believe I may have. I've seen a lot of Holocaust survivors, and I would like to think that one of them was your mother. Did she actually speak here in Chula Vista at any organizations or groups?
Absolutely, numerous. In fact, you know what happened a year ago yesterday? She won the honorary degree here at Southwestern College. And now to think that 365 days later, Mayor Salas got it. Now, how did my mother get that degree? Probably by talking to 10,000 students in the Chula Vista area. We love Chula Vista, and it's easy to want to spread out. It's very difficult to know that everybody wanted to hear what she had to say. She was in a wheelchair, so taking her from point A to point B, it's something that we did.
You know, I believe she spoke at my Rotary Club.
You're absolutely right.
That's
We
where I
spoke
know
at
her.
the Rotary
That's
Club.
right.
Yeah.
So let's get real here for a second. This topic we're going to talk about as far as Holocaust survivors, it's real. It happened. And we need to acknowledge the tragedy that came with it. For a matter of fact, not too long ago, I was in Los Angeles and I went to the Holocaust Museum. And what an emotional experience. And I think that everybody should experience that to be reminded of just the tragedy, the inhumanity, the cruelness, but then the survivors, the ones that came out of that and moved forward, and like your mother, did great things, became a kind person, and lived a wonderful life. So tell me more a little about your life as a daughter and how it parallels your mother's life.
Well, before I do that, let me just tell you what I am going to be doing starting in January 2020 at the Chula Vista Library. We're having a Holocaust Museum. So instead of all the kids having to go from Chula Vista to Los Angeles, we know what that bus trek would be like.
yeah.
Now
Are we there
they're
yet?
able.
Are we there yet?
Are we there yet? They're now able to get an experience of what's called Project Ruth. RUTH, Remember Us the Holocaust, including other survivors that came to Chula Vista and why they came to Chula Vista. And I think even though we're not going to be the quantity, we will have the quality to do this project. So you asked me another question, and I completely forgot what it was.
Well, let's try this one. So you're the daughter of a survivor.
That's
You
correct.
grew up seeing your mother's pain and the pain of other relatives that you may have known who were survivors. And obviously that impacted
I saw strength.
There
I
it
saw
is.
strength.
strength.
I didn't see pain. I didn't come from a family that sat around and cried. It was like, we're going to take this and we're going to make a challenge out of it. We're not going to feel sorry for ourselves. We're going to make sure that it doesn't happen again. And if we could survive this, we can survive anything.
You know, I like that. It reminds me of a phrase from Norman Vincent Peale that said, through every adversity holds within itself a seed to an equal or greater benefit. And I believe that your mother, Ruth Sachs, pretty much demonstrated that to a T. What do you think?
Absolutely. I am so blessed that she was my mom, and I still talk with her. I still find ways of seeing her. In fact, even when I do a presentation and it's on a big screen like you saw when we did the talk, a lot of times kids say, isn't it difficult that you have to see? I'm like, are you kidding me? I get to spend time with my mom 2 and 3 days a week looking at my mom on the screen and paying tribute to her. And if I don't do a school talk, then I go over to the cemetery and I do what we always loved doing, and that was taking diet soda and chocolate and throwing it on her grave.
So let's talk about you, because you have quite a resume of accomplishment as well. If you saw her picture, it's a wonderful picture. But here is what she has done. Sandra has been a professional mime, flamingo dancer.
Flamenco. Flamenco is when you stand on one foot.
Okay.
And flamenco is when you really get into
Ah,
it.
all right, good. And then, of course, pantomime teacher,
Right. I used to teach here back in the 70s here
Wow.
at Southwestern. Yeah.
flying crane aerial ballet for
It's
Moscow.
a trapeze, right? It's a trapeze act,
Wow.
and I'm the contact person in the United States. So if Cirque du Soleil or when Ringling Brothers or when we have acts across the world and they need to get translated into the United States, that's me. I'm
Oh,
the
I thought you were the
contact.
person that actually caught them after they launched off the
No,
trapeze.
Absolutely not. As my boss would say, I am the flying crane that remains on the ground,
I
not
like
in the air.
And then, of course, we're looking at, if that's not enough, with Cirque du Soleil, Cirque du Monte.
Cirque du Monde.
And then Sandra is the author of the book, Try to Remember, Never Forget. And I think that's important. Try to remember, never forget. Because if we forget, what's going to happen?
It'll happen all over again.
That's right. So check out her full video presentation on TEDx Chula Vista and share the news. Share compassion, love, understanding, strength, forgiveness, of course, and perseverance. Any last words, Sandra?
No, just a hug.
And that's the best way to end an interview.